Hello and welcome to another episode of the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast. This is episode 135. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Ryan Cross, from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. This week, I got with me Chad and Tony. What's up, guys?
Oh, I'm just hanging out. Figured I should probably show back up since I've been skipping out for a couple weeks. Maybe actually do a review or something. But, besides that, figure I'll show up and do a review and make you guys jealous or something.
Did you win anything at bingo night last week?
No. And Matlock was just reruns, so...
What, Matlock's always reruns.
So I watched, Gunsmoke instead.
Oh, there you go. Gunsmoke, Jeopardy, and called it a night, baby. Ate soft food and went to sleep.
Well, I hope everyone's been having fun in the sun. Have you guys done anything shooting-wise this last week?
I went out. I went up to Gun for Hire to be on their podcast, Gun for Hire Radio, and I realized I needed my sights fixed. So those guys are really cool, and they adjusted the sight on my Glock 19 for me while I was on the show. So that's pretty cool of them. Other than that, nope, didn't really do anything. Got some stuff in for the Secondist for Everyone Diversity Shoot. So if you're going to be in Jersey, I got some cool swag. Other than that, no, did nothing.
How about you, Chad?
Well, let's see. This last week I didn't do anything but put a floor in. The week before that, I went to our local machine gun shoot because, well, when do you not want to go shoot machine guns and see people shoot them? So that's always fun. Lots of people there. I go talk to all of the people I know and say hi that I see once a year, and that's pretty much about the extent of what I have done the last couple weeks.
Yeah, so that was during the NRA show.
Yes.
So, what kind of machine guns did you shoot down there? Or did you shoot at all?
I shot an AK just because. I shot a Gold Desert Eagle because, gangster.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much about all I shot. I mean, I've been working these things for years, and this is like last couple years I haven't worked them. So you work them and you work all weekend, which this is Saturday, Sunday. You get, on Sunday the dealers are like, here, you want to shoot this. So a lot of the stuff that's there I've shot over the years, over 15 years. So it's kind of, lost some of its charm. But it's still kind of cool to see the people that have it and they get big smiles on their faces. That's always loads of fun.
Sweet. Yeah, I think next year I might try and swing by that, maybe on behalf of Patriot Patch.
Yeah.
But, yeah, cool.
Well, it's always the third weekend in May. So, depending on what's going on.
Hopefully I'm not getting married on the third weekend of next May.
I think you might be.
I think I am.
So
Thanks for reminding me, guys. Yeah, all right, maybe not.
Wait another year.
I don't know. Can we move the venue down to a machine gun shoot?
I don't. In my recollection, I don't think anybody's been married there, so they would probably let you.
Yeah, well, I did propose to her at a shooting range, so I suppose it wouldn't be completely out of character for us, but yeah, I don't want to throw a monkey wrench in plans. As far as what I did, in guns this week, I just was working on my AR builds, and I sold a lot of AR parts today. Actually, I'm pretty proud of myself. I took photos of almost 20, 30 miscellaneous parts. Receivers, barrels, magazines, scope mounts, flash hiders, bipods, handguards. All this extra AR stuff that's just been sitting in my cardboard box of AR stuff, and I finally got all my builds to where I want them, and I want to remove the temptation of moving them around anymore. So I sold a bunch of AR stuff today. I sold 3 Magpul stocks, ridiculous. But I did add new stock to my little SBR here. So this is the 9mm SBR. I actually put the SLK tiny little stock on here. I really like it. It's a much smaller profile. Before I had the CTR on here, which added a lot more of that A-frame triangle stock, so it came down quite a bit lower into my kind of my shoulder, hanging down lower. This is a lot more tighter, kind of feels more like a PDW. And it's got the Spark AR, the new Vortex red dot, with the Vortex magnifier behind it. That is my new 9mm setup. Happen to like it quite a lot. And then I also got another Magpul PRS stock on. I guess this would be my go-to like bench AR-15. So this is the obviously the PRS stock. I've done a review on one in the past. I had the receivers. This is dedicated for Tony right here. I had the upper and lower Cerakoted in stone gray, or battleship gray, stealth gray, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. It's technically stone gray to match the handguard. It's my Fortis Rev 2 M-Lock handguard, and then it's got the AAC brake on the end of it, and my bipod. So this is kind of like my, I guess if I was to do any more 3-gunning, I'd use this rifle. Stock's a little heavy, but I plan on putting a suppressor on it whenever that tax stamp comes in about 6 months from now. So I wanted to have a heavier stock to kind of tip the balance in the back, because I know that suppressor is going to make it definitely front heavy. It's missing a trigger, obviously. I'm still working on putting that Wisconsin trigger in here this week, and then finishing my review on that. So that's it for show and tell, folks.
Yeah, you people disgust me.
So, into the announcements. Bandwidth sponsor for this podcast is Patriot Patch Co. We've got some new patches available for pre-order right now on the website that we just added in the last month. So we've got some new Dangerous to Go Alone Take This patches. If you're familiar with our catalog, you've seen the AR, the AK, and the AUG one that we added about a month ago. So we just added 3 more because it's been so popular and people have been wanting, always asking me, hey, do a pistol, hey, do a SCAR, hey, do a shotgun. Well, sorry, Devin, we didn't do a SCAR this time, but we did do a pistol, a shotgun, and a chainsaw to kind of tie it all into a Walking Dead like zombie theme. And then we had a vote on the Patriot Patch Facebook page asking people what was their favorite one. Turns out they liked all 3, but more people like the pistol, which is kind of an FDE frame pistol with a light or laser with a suppressor, an RMR, and a couple of magazines. Of course, it's all 8-bit pixelated stylized artwork, so those are kind of, it's not real detailed, but it's got that kind of nostalgic 8-bit video game theme in the artwork. So both of those, both the 3-pack is available for pre-order, as well as the standalone pistol, because that got the most votes. So you could pre-order the pistol only if you don't want the shotgun or the chainsaw. So that's on the website right now, as well as the Tactical Tux pre-order. It's a torso with a tuxedo wearing a plate carrier. And then obviously the 2-pack Sci-Fi Firefly patch bundle is still available. And those should be actually coming from the factory soon, so they'll be in stock instead of pre-order shortly here. So that's what's going on with Patriot Patch Co. right now. Changing the swag giveaway, so comment on the Firearms Insider review page and the Firearms Radio Network show notes. I haven't really seen anybody do this yet. I'm wondering if it's too difficult. But basically, here's an example of how it worked. This week, Chad is going to be reviewing the DMR trigger. You could, of course, do this on any of the previous review items that we've done. So what you got to do is go to the Firearms Insider and go to the DMR trigger that Chad published and just leave a comment. And then also go to the firearmsradio.tv website, go to the show notes in which that review was kind of on the air. So this would be episode 135. Leave a comment on there, and that gets you entered in. It's kind of an experiment. If it's too difficult, maybe I'll simplify it. Maybe down the road we'll just kind of simplify everything and have it all on one website. But just trying to get you guys more active on those web pages so that we know that you care and you listen and that it's a safe place. I'm just kidding. So that's it for the announcements. We're going to get into the product spotlight now. First up, this is something that Tony begged that we talk about on this show, right? You begged. You were like, Ryan, please, we have to talk about this shotgun.
Oh yeah, because that's how I roll. I beg.
So this is the ATI Calvary over and under turkey fowl 12-gauge shotgun, and I will let you take it away.
The 12-gauge turkey fowl. All right, so I'm at the NRA show. I'm over by the ATI booth because I think their stuff is interesting and the price point is pretty cool. And I said, hey, what's new and exciting over here? Well, he started showing me more black rifles. Please stop. And then he goes, hey, but I got this really cool double barrel, and check out what you can do with it. Well, it has a 20-something inch barrel on it. And then all of a sudden, the guy starts unscrewing the end of the barrel. It has actual barrel extension, 9-inch barrel extensions on it. It's a 20-inch double barrel that has 9-inch barrel extensions, so pretty much you can take it turkey hunting and have a full-length barrel. Or you can unscrew that puppy, and you have a 20-inch home defense shotgun. And it's kind of awesome. And the price point, $6.99 MSRP, so you know it probably goes for, what, $100, $150 cheaper on the street price, if not more. But I thought it was pretty cool. It's real quick in your shoulder. Just a cool double barrel with extractors in it. And some people dig double barrels. I think they're cool. It's not a coach gun. Even a coach gun would be even cooler. But it is a double barrel. It's pretty quick in your shoulder. It's easy to use. It has one trigger. I don't think it had two triggers. I think it had one trigger. And I thought the price was great. I think the ability, especially me as an instructor, to take people out with the, a double barrel and have them shooting clays with it that's great. And then I can also show them how to do the home defense thing with the same shotgun. Because a lot of people don't dig the pump. Some people short stroke a pump. They don't want to pay the price for a semi-auto. And really, this is the only price point you're going to get them at from ATI here or from Stoeger, pretty much in this price point. After this, you have to double the price for a double barrel, and you're still only going to end up with the longer barrels. This, you get both in one shotgun. That's pretty much it. Oh, and it comes also in 20 gauge. I think it comes in 12, 20, and 410, right?
Yeah, it says also 28 gauge if anybody actually uses it.
Well, 28 gauge, from what I heard, is a really sweet shooter. And I just look at it going, I've never in my entire life seen 28 gauge for sale on a store shelf, so I have no idea where you get it.
Yeah. I like over-unders, especially not really for home defense, but just for like shooting trap or skeet or something like that. And, I like the idea of, just screw-in barrels. I mean, heck, they have screw-in chokes. You might as well just screw a barrel extension in there. I mean, I don't turkey hunt, but I could see a use for,
I didn't understand the turkey hunt thing, but whatever.
I would guess also that, you could eventually they might have extensions to make it like a 26-inch barrel or, something kind of in between, which would, make it so you could pretty much customize it to whatever you wanted.
Oh, well, the cool thing about that rib, that's one of the things I forgot, but he showed it to me. The rib on it is actually drill and tap. So you can put a Weaver rail on it, a Weaver style or a Picatinny rail on top, and put your red dots or whatever you want on the top of it, or a scope or whatever, reflex sight. So I just think it's pretty cool. It's versatile. Everybody's not all tactical Timmy. You know what I mean? They want to do their thing with their shotgun, and okay, it can double as a home defense shotgun if they want to use it as such, but that's not even their primary whatsoever. A lot of guys, like you said, they shoot clays, they shoot other things, and really that's why they have their gun. But this one can actually serve double duty. I thought it was pretty cool. Heck, actually, I want one. I just have to come up with a reason.
The reason is I want one.
Yeah, that works really well until you have like 4 of them already. And it's like, yeah, you want another one, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
could you technically like screw in only one of the barrels, either in the upper or the lower, and then have the option of having a wide and a tight pattern, or would the unlengthened barrel pellets impact the barrel extension?
Well, that's what I was wondering because I think he said 9-inch barrel extension.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, so that's a lot. I don't know.
I would doubt it would, because if you look at like the barrel extensions they use in like 3-gun on the
Mag tube.
True. They don't. They extended
yeah, the extended mag tubes are sticking out. You know, they're running like a 24-inch barrel or something, and it's sticking out 10 inches past the barrel. They don't have any problems, so.
Yeah, you might be right. I just never thought of it.
Must be a tight choke. So could you can put chokes in both the shortened version and the lengthened version?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I think. Did he say? I think he might have told me in person what the threads were. I think maybe Benelli or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I want one. I'm sold.
I really want that.
Yeah, the engraving on the receiver is also quite beautiful. It looks to be like engraved into that blued metal. Is it blued, or is it what do you call that?
Blued.
Matte black.
It might be matte black.
I'm assuming.
I don't know. I don't know how pretty it was.
Well,
I was really blown away by the ability to do what they did with it.
Yeah. Well, it's a very beautiful engraving, at least on the website here, of a grouse kind of flying over a little valley, and then of course it's got the scroll work going around the pivot hinge there. But yeah, that's a beautiful shotgun, and I feel like having that versatility, it wouldn't just sit in the safe.
Do we know where it's made?
Okay, here's my guess. I'm thinking Turkey.
That would be my guess.
Come out of Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does use Turkish walnut, so it only makes sense that the rest of it was Turkish.
Yeah, Turkey has a huge walnut thing going on, but a lot of companies, they buy their guns out of Turkey and they just put their company's label on it, especially their
shotguns.
Yeah, especially shotguns.
Seems like Turkey makes a lot of over-under shotguns.
Well, they make a lot of pumps too, and a lot of American companies put their name on it. It's all coming out of one place.
Yeah, this would be good. It'd fit in a scabbard really well too if you were just doing some trail riding, either on a horse or a quad. Just to have one on hand. And 12 gauge would be a little hard on some of them birdies, but you still do the
again, they got the 28. They got the 28.
And the 410, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want one. You should just get one for both of us.
Oh, okay.
Tell them that you need a spare.
Yeah, we need a pack.
And then it needs to be in Washington.
Part of the reason Tony likes this so much is it's legal where he lives.
Oh, wow. That's...
They call it New Jersey Tactical.
Oh.
Yeah, New Jersey Tactical.
Do they make a special model?
As long as they don't put a bayonet lug on it, we're cool.
Well, you could screw one into the front, just don't tell them.
I hate my state sometimes.
Yeah, well, if you weren't on here, we'd make fun of somebody else. So.
Yeah, okay, great.
It's TJ's turn this week.
Oh, yeah. Where is TJ?
I don't know. Cutting his grass or something.
Oh, yeah, that's
his ankle holster.
His ankle holster.
In shorts with his ankle holster.
Yep.
So that was the turkey fowl. Next up, we have a new offering from Smith & Wesson, their M&P 22 Compact, which has been very popular for people that want to train, obviously using 22 as a cheaper round, but it's also very much kind of similar weight and size to the real deal centerfire cartridge. Now they make a suppressor-ready model, which is awesome because it just means that the suppressor market, especially for 22 long rifle, is just getting bigger and more proliferated. So it comes with a threaded barrel. It does come with a FDE colored frame, and the sights don't look suppressor height to me. I might be wrong.
Yeah, they
It
did it to
is
me, but you got to remember that a 22 cal suppressor is usually only an inch diameter total.
right. So you might be able to just barely see over the rim of the profile of your can. So the frame, I guess it's actually Cerakoted in flat dark earth instead of actually the polymer molded to be that color. So it's a Cerakote treatment on top of that. 10 plus 1 rounds, pretty much the same thing as the compact they already had, except for that new barrel. It's a carbon steel barrel. It's a little over 3.5 inches long total, and obviously threaded for the 1/2 by 28 thread pitch. This is also a gun that I want because I now that I'm really getting into the suppressors, and I want all my guns to be able to have that suppressor threaded on there, not just one or two.
Yeah, it comes with 2 magazines. That's kind of nice. Not that that's not pretty much standard, but it does. Yeah, like you said, it's pretty much a smaller M&P. So
Yeah,
that
the
pretty
only thing
much-
I don't like about it is that it has those that big ear safety, what your thumb would get. Not a big fan of those, but if you're using this to train kids, obviously training them about safeties are important. So
Actually, I don't train kids about safeties. I actually
you
don't.
don't,
Nope.
because you teach them the right way. That
it's right.
the
It's right
safety
here. Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I teach them that the safety is actually mechanical, and mechanical things can fail. It's very important just to keep your finger off the trigger, keep it aimed in a safe direction, keep it empty until you're ready to use. You know what I mean? I mean, just the basics out there, and the safety is just a thing. But with these 22s from Smith & Wesson M&Ps, when I was looking to buy a 22, to train with, I was like, okay, I want something that's not a pain in the butt. I heard about how the Ruger, what is it? Mark 1s, 2s, and 3s are just really difficult to tear apart and clean and put back together again. So I'm like, well, what about the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 or the SR 22, like what, or even the Walther, and pretty much the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 and the M&P 22 Compact and the SR 22 were pretty much, outside of the Ruger Mark 1s, 2, and 3s, the most popular guns that people use, and I'm talking thousands of rounds without cleaning. And then when you do clean it, you can easily tear these down and just clean them. So I was like pretty impressive with the number of companies that make 22 semi-automatic pistols out there. These were in the top 5 of everyone, and I'm talking about maybe 96 responses from different NRA instructors. So that's pretty cool as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah,
Nice.
like you said, they're so much easier to take apart than like some of the Ruger Mark 2s, Mark 3s, 2245s that you have to hold one eye shut, standing on your head, and try to put the thing back together.
Yeah. I mean, the Mark series pistols are a pain in the butt. And I'm like, why do I care? I mean, they're really, really accurate. Well, how accurate is accurate? How accurate am I?
Do they go
What are we
bang?
talking? Yeah, what are we talking here? And plus the price point. You know what I mean? These are what, between, in reality, the street price, $350 or less.
Yeah, around 350 is what I see them for.
There you
Yep.
go. So how much are some of the Mark series? I mean, they get more expensive as you go. When you get into the whole all metal frame, all metal barrel, and the Hunter series. Now we're talking like $500, $600, $700 for a 22. That's still a
Yep.
pain in the butt to tear apart.
Yeah, I actually I had to take my Mark III Hunter into the gunsmith because I missed a step apparently, and I got frustrated, and I thought using a rubber mallet would expedite things. Well, they did not, and I think I got my mallet taken away when he was like, "You can come pick up your gun, but I'm only gonna give it back to you if you bring me your mallet," and I'm not giving it back.
Yeah.
Wanted
So
a new rubber mallet.
yeah. But I did change out the upper to a pack light from Tactical Solutions, and that thing takes apart much easier. It's just the tolerances are better.
There you go.
But anyway, back to this MSRP of $429, like we said, probably about $350 street price. I really like these. I need to get one once I build back up my war fund and I can afford new guns again. I don't think that'll happen for another 2 or 3 years, but yeah, it's cool. It should fit in most the M&P 9 and 40C holsters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got the readily available holsters already on the shelves that you can get for training.
And the cool thing is these are the same size as those carry pistols. I have the SR22, really great, but it's not really the same size as a carry pistol.
Cool. So that's that. And since we're talking about suppressors, the next product is a whole bunch of suppressors made by this company. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They're called Blackhawk, all caps with an exclamation point. Like you can't whisper Blackhawk, you have to say Blackhawk. They're coming out with suppressors apparently. So in this last NRA show, they had the little display out with all their different cans that are going to be available on the market. Quite a few, like not just one or two just to test the waters. They are rolling out at least 12 calibers. So you're looking at 7.62, 5.56, 300 Win Magnum, 338 Lapua Magnum, obviously 22 long rifle, 45 cal, 9mm. Actually, they have a couple 7.62 cans. So pretty interesting. The outside of them, it kind of has like a hexagonal pattern kind of molded into the outer shell, or milled into the outer shell. So it kind of gives it a unique look. They almost look like you could put the Gun Collective logo on there, and you would assume that John Patton would be making these things because of the hexagons. So I'll start off like smallest to largest. The Pulse is their 22 long rifle can. It is full auto rated, and it's capable of withstanding pressures from the other calibers in the same family. 22 Winchester Magnum, 17 HMR, 17 Winchester Short Magnum, and it's got 22 Winchester Magnum on there twice. So the next one up would be the 9mm. It's called the Mini Boss. So it's 9mm handgun, and they are also advertising it as a 300 blackout can. Supersonic and subsonic full auto, which most people do not advertise blackout for 9mm cans, because if you were to put a supersonic round through it, it would be too much pressure and cause some issues with the can. These guys are actually saying, yeah, full auto. No, not full auto. Yeah, no, they're saying full auto, supersonic or subsonic rounds, 9mm or 300 blackout. So that's got to be a pretty robust 9mm can right there. It is direct thread with a mount included. Or not, I'm sorry, it uses a QD mount that direct threads onto your barrel. It looks pretty short. I'm not seeing like a measurement as far as the length goes, but it does look like one of the smaller K-style cans. Couldn't be more than 5 inches, maybe less than that. So the next one up would be the Smokestack, which is their 45 ACP can, also rated for 300 blackout, multi-cal. Supposedly it's got a takedown baffle design for cleaning, modular mounting for many different host guns. So the next one up, we're going to go on into the rifle calibers. They've got the Barrage, which is a 5.56 can, also obviously rated for everything smaller, 22 long rifle, 22 Winchester Magnum, 17 HMR. So the Barrage is pretty much the same thing, QD mount with a flash hider that's included. And then we've got the gas can, which is their 7.62, used on any centerfire rifle, 308, full auto, 5.56. They're advertising that it's strength without the weight, so there's some kind of weight savings in the construction of these. Still direct threaded QD brake included. The other gas can is the same. It must be just a repeat in the picture. So then next up would be the Carnivore, which is the 300 Winchester Magnum. So they're advertising it as the lightest, most durable 300 Winchester Magnum hunting suppressor on the market, with perimeter welded steel baffles and a highly accurate minimal POI shift. Keep in mind this is all just marketing, so these claims could be unfounded. But it seems like they're really hitting the ground, the pavement in the suppressor market strong with the design and what they're claiming these can do. So last up is the 338 Lapua Magnum can. They call that the Wraith, and it's hearing safe for 338 Lapua Magnum. I'd like to hear that to believe it. And it's uses tool grade perimeter welded stainless steel baffles with a, once again, boasting a highly accurate and minimal POI shift. So no word yet on the MSRPs for this guy, for any of these guys. Price ranges will probably be between $400 to just over $1,000 depending on the model. So you can bet probably the Lapua for sure and the Winchester Magnum will be over $1,000. But as low as $400, you're probably looking at the 22 can to be in the $400 range. And everything else lying in between. Kind of as the calibers go up, usually the price tends to follow that. Man, I blanked on the word. I was going to sound super smart, and then I just blew it. So, what do you guys think about these cans? I'll ask Chad because I don't. Tony, do you know what a suppressor is?
Yeah, it's one of those things I can't have.
Yeah, it's like a muzzle muffler. There you go.
Wow, talk much? Anyway.
I'm gonna drink some more.
You know, I saw this. I think I might have seen them before it hit the show notes, and I was looking at them, and you know, they're cool looking suppressors, but until they actually come out, you know. Do we know, are they made from aluminum, titanium, unobtainium, you know?
Vibranium.
Yeah. Without any of that information, I mean, yeah, I understand they're brand new. They're neat looking. I'll give them that much. They're coming out with all different products. You know, having full auto rated on some of them, like the Mini Boss, full auto 300 black, that's impressive. I don't know if it has room for a booster, but it must. So, you know, they look cool. I'm just hoping they come in at an affordable price for what they are. I mean, it seems like everybody's getting into the suppressor business. So
did they purchase somebody? Did they purchase another company? Or is this?
I don't think so. I think this is theirs.
Looking at the Firearm blog, which I've got the link in the show notes to this article written by Nathaniel, who we did meet at the NRA show at the listener hangout. But the people in the comment section, which obviously that's a reliable news source, is someone saying that both Blackhawk and Silencer Co. have acknowledged that these are silencers made by Silencer Co. to Blackhawk specs, and some people are arguing that. But I think Silencer Co. may have some involvement, whether they're, I don't know why they'd want to market under Blackhawk and make the cans for them.
You know, it may be Blackhawk contacted them to have them made by them because they don't have the ability.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay, because it seems like Silencer Co. on a different subject is pretty much about getting suppressors, theirs or anybody's, out there. So
yeah,
you know,
Silencer Co. took the lead on this whole suppressor thing, and I think they're just wanting to make it grow.
I mean,
and
some of the names,
yeah,
some of the names are pretty cool. I mean, you can get a carnivore. That's
Yeah. Okay. So they had a 12-year-old name them. That's not very impressive.
No, they didn't have a 12-year-old name. The CZ had a 12-year-old name their stuff. What was that? Tactical Sniper.
The counter sniper.
That's right.
The tactical.
That's right. This was like a 15-year-old.
Okay. Sorry. 3 years off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes a big difference because, you know, somebody must have had a short mom or something because they made the Mini Boss. So.
Wow.
That's gonna get some emails.
Pretty much.
Send those to Where's my show notes? So
Yeah.
I know where to have them sent. Oh, gungearreview@gmail.com. Yeah, that's where all the hate mail goes.
Wow. Gmail. Yeah, send it to Chad at AOL.com.
No, that's like, oh, geez. Something net.
Nice.
I'm old.
So, I mean, there's not a whole lot of information based on these images from the NRA show with these tags next to them. What I can notice by just looking at it, the 45 smokestack can is freaking long. It is huge. It looks almost comparatively long to the Win Mag can. So
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of baffle design they're using to make it that long, because that's ultimately the balance that you have with your designing suppressors. You want it to be efficient, so you could have if you have a more efficient baffle design, you can make the can shorter. If you have a less efficient baffle design, you then need more baffles, and so you need to make the can longer. That smokestack literally almost looks like a smokestack on a semi-truck.
Yeah.
That's a long 45 can.
Yeah, at the Firearm blog, they have a picture of it on a 1911, and it's like, yeah, it gives you an idea of how long it is.
Well, I think you have to have it be that long because if you're also using a Blackhawk Serpa holster, you have to have it long enough for you to pull the trigger and it still not hit your leg.
Send hate mail to Tony.
Yeah, right? Yeah, who knows? Maybe they might come out with holsters for suppressed pistols in the future, like that make it easier. Somehow you can get your whole can in through the muzzle, and then it clamps onto your trigger guard. Or maybe it's just like a tube that gets like tapers down, so you can just put your suppressor in the tube and have your gun just kind of flopping around. Maybe like a shoestring or a rubber band. I think I might be onto something.
Yeah, you better make that and market it.
Yeah, we better call the patent office.
Yeah, call it the Tony Simon.
Now, understand, before you start complaining about me talking about Blackhawk holsters, there you go. Blackhawk holster for my Glock 19.
There you go. Well, as much as we like to poke and prod and have fun, one thing that's nice is that putting a household name on it. I mean, because if you think about in the firearms world, what's the one holster company that jumps out to you and that you could find almost anywhere in your town that's not Uncle Mike's? Blackhawk.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got a very big market presence. Hopefully, this kind of opens the doors to more FFLs becoming Class 3 dealers and carrying suppressors, and it just proliferating the whole thing. You know, once we get them as popular enough and it's more FFLs around the country, maybe I don't know, maybe the whole NFA thing might go away.
Well, think about what's happened in the last 3 years, right? Last 3 years, we got SIG into the game, Ruger into the game.
Yep.
Now you got Blackhawk into the game.
Yeah, but and Blackhawk, don't they sell that stuff at Walmart? Maybe Walmart
Yes.
start
I got
carrying.
my holster.
Maybe they'll start carrying suppressors.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, it's getting to the point that everybody carries one, so it's not that mystery. It's not the assassin's weapon. It's almost every company out there. I mean, SIG's a big company, Ruger's huge. I mean, just in the non-tactical community. I mean, everybody has the 1022. Now it has the Ruger label on the Ruger stuff.
Hey, if Ruger's making it, everybody else should make it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish that 45 can came in a smaller version like the Mini Boss. You know, maybe at some point they might do a Mini Boss in 45 as well.
Yeah.
You would think that the 9mm would need more baffles because you have the supersonic 115 grain variant, whereas 45 isn't 45 like always subsonic or at least close to?
Much. Not pretty much. Yeah.
So
with the 230s, I mean, if you're shooting 200s or 185s,
180s, 185s, yeah.
Yeah. But
185s, that's it. But my question is this. I mean, is this production or is this pre-production? Because things change.
They do say inert on them, so I don't know how you'd make a suppressor inert, fill in the holes so that bullets can't go through.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what people actually have to say with some T&E models that hopefully they'll send some out. I would bet dollars to donuts that the Military Arms channel, Tim, would get a hold of some and do a little kind of initial impressions and then a further in-depth review. And that's who I'd listen to first for an opinion on these.
I'd listen to nothing fancy, but I'll have 3 hours to kill. What?
You take your mouse and you put it on the buffer, you close your eyes, and you just kind of slide it right and then you just click randomly and you listen from there.
Just read the description.
Yeah.
Whatever works, right?
Yep. So that's it for the products. So now we're going to get into the review, and Chad, being the rock star that he is, he has yet another trigger to review. We're going to start calling you the Trigger Man.
Well, TJ said he was going to start calling me the Belt Man because I did 2 reviews on belts. I just haven't done them yet on the podcast.
You can be flexible. Whatever man you want to identify as, you go ahead.
I prefer the Trigger Man, you know. Well, brought to you today is the KE Arms DMR trigger. So, what we have is a drop-in trigger assembly, so I'm guessing they might be getting sued by somebody, but this is a irrelevant point. It's made by KE Arms, and, well, that pretty much accepts what it is. As you can tell, everybody wants the best trigger they can get. I think pretty much everybody on the panel pretty much thinks so. The DMR trigger does a fairly good job in the cost per performance category, which I think I made up. When I received the trigger, the pull weight measured 4.25 pounds. KE Arms states that it's a 4.5 pound trigger, so it's close. And they say which seems kind of weird, it has an adjustable reset. Well, the reset adjustment also adjusts the actual pull weight. So it's kind of strange that way. So if you screw out the adjustment, you get a lighter pull weight, but you also get a lighter reset. And so if you screw it in, you get a heavier pull weight and a heavier reset, which is kind of nice when it comes to that. And what happens is you can adjust it down so that it won't actually pull the trigger, which is kind of neat. But on the trigger, mine had an adjustment from about 3.25 pounds to about 6.5 pounds. I set it at 3 3/4 because the reset was acceptable to me. I don't know if you can actually see the reset. I mean, was still quick enough and still worthwhile to me. So, like I said, it's drop in, easy to install. You basically remove the hand grip, take the safety out because you have to take it out to drop the little tang past the trigger. I tried to do it without the safety removed, and it was a no-go. Then you drop it in, and then you put the safety in, put your hand grip back on, and then you probably won't be able to see it, there's 2 set screws in there that basically you put the pins in, which it comes with new pins, comes with Allen wrenches to adjust everything. Put the pins in, and then you tighten those 2 set screws up, and it puts pressure on the pins, and it holds the whole thing in place. And then in the center of those 2 is the adjustment screw. Yeah, there's not enough light in here. You can't see it. And they have a really good instructions on their website for installation. There's a link in the show notes, or not the show notes, the review. So if you are having trouble, you can go look at it. One of the things that makes a DMR trigger good is its feel. It does not have your standard shape of your standard AR trigger. I actually really like the shape of the trigger. It's curved, not as much of a stock trigger. It literally has no real take up It just pretty much breaks. It's a single stage trigger. It has a very short reset. I don't know if you can actually see this, but you can really, I'm pulling the trigger and it's not really moving. It really literally moves 1/8 of an inch, and that's it. And the reset is a little gritty and kind of mushy. I mean, if you're doing double taps or something like that, you don't even notice it. But if you're on the bench shooting and let the trigger out really slow, you can feel a little bit of grit. Feels a little mushy, even if you turn it up to like 4.5 pounds. So there's that. It's hard to notice if you put it like 4.5, 5 pounds, because it's putting more pressure on your finger, so you don't notice it as much. The only problem I had with it was whenever I do run a trigger, I always try it with a 22 conversion kit, and it would not fire 1 in 10 times with it. It didn't have enough energy to set off the 22. All steel cased ammo, regular brass cased ammo I put through it functioned flawlessly. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't recommend it as a duty trigger, because if it doesn't pass the 22 test, I don't know if I would trust it. And maybe if you ran 1,000 rounds through it, then you could trust it. But that's kind of a personal preference. But they state it as a designated marksman trigger, so it'd be up to you. But especially if you're looking for like a 3-gun trigger, anything like that would make a great trigger. So it's no 2.5 pound trigger, but it does feel good. Because of such a short travel, it felt lighter than it actually measures, which is a nice thing. And so we'll go through the 8 key points of the Firearms Insider Reviews. It is a drop-in single-stage trigger. Imagine that. Target markets, anyone looking for a better AR trigger, 3-gunners, target shooters, sportsmen, varmint hunters, or anybody who just wants a better trigger than the stock 7-pound, lots of take-up. If you have an AR, you understand. Features and benefits: 4.5 pound adjustable reset, which I kind of explained. It's drop-in installation. They have 2 models. This is the melanite coated one. They also have a gold titanium nitride one. It provides crisp break, minimal over travel. Like I said, it's single stage. It is made in the USA. You can get it in titanium nitride or the black melanite. I think there's a little bit of a price difference, not much. What others are saying: awesome trigger. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars on Got Ammo LLC. I now have 3 of these triggers for my AR-10 and AR-15. I'm super excited. Got Ammo now carries these because they're right down the road from me. I also own a Velocity trigger, and I like these much more. The brake is super clean, and the adjustable reset is awesome. No complaints here. That was about the only one I could find. It was fairly new trigger, so there might be a few more out here. There's a review on the Truth About Guns. There's a link there. The MSRP is $169.95, and the retail, I found it for $154.95. You can get it at KE Arms, or sometimes Amazon has it, not always. So for our rating, the pros, I gave it the adjustable pull weight reset. It has a crisp trigger break, which was really nice. Virtually no take-up. Very little over travel. Super easy installation. It comes with the Allen wrenches, which is nice, so you can lose them. It's made in the USA. The cons are that rough, kind of mushy reset, which is kind of, like I said, if you're shooting fast, you don't notice it. From a bench, you might. And it's not enough hammer energy to consistently set off the 22 long rifle. And I'll mention that with that, it also has a bobbed style hammer, so you probably get a quicker lock time, but probably less hammer energy. And I gave it a 7.5, which is good. They did originally send me this trigger for review, and I decided that I was going to purchase it from them. So it's kind of I figured it's a good trigger for the price, and so I decided to keep it.
Nice.
Yep. That's pretty much it. You guys have any questions?
Are you going to leave it in there? Or as far as all of the triggers that you've tried so far, are you leaning toward one or the other?
Well, I'm going to actually leave it in this gun for a while. It is not the 24C from Hyperfire, but of course it is also, I think, $100 cheaper. So, as far as that goes, yeah, it's not a super adjustable lightweight trigger, but like I said, I like the feel, so I think I'll probably keep it in at least one of the guns. Probably this one that's kind of a test platform / 3-gun rifle.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got any questions, Tony?
I was just looking at it. I don't know. Did it really improve your accuracy at all, or anything like that, or you just it was a cool trigger?
No, I mean, any good trigger is going to improve accuracy, not the gun's capability, but
yeah. No, the way it does, you don't disturb your sight picture or your sight alignment.
Right, and it does do a better job of that than your factory trigger because you don't have to pull it near as far. I mean, plus it's lighter, but literally you pretty much just start applying pressure and then it goes off because it's such a short travel.
But does it go off so lightly that you end up pulling the shots off because it's too light?
No.
Okay, so there you go.
And that's where the adjustability comes in. I mean, they did a good job being adjustable from say 3 to 7 pounds. So if you like a heavier trigger, you can crank it up a little bit. It still seemed to work good at 3 1/4. It just it's not super light where it goes off before you notice it.
Yeah, I've been learning that once I get into some better triggers, because this whole thing to me is still a learning experience. You find things, and you build upon that experience. And I found sometimes with a really, really light trigger, you're not doing yourself any favors sometimes, So, yeah, having an adjustable trigger is great. And also learning your equipment is also pretty cool. That you can get the best out of it once you know it.
Well, thanks for that review, man.
Yeah, no problem.
And this would be where I'd read listener feedback. I don't have any for you this week. So now we go ahead and give Tony the floor again and let him talk about his upcoming Second is for Everyone diversity event.
Second is for Everyone diversity event is coming up Thursday, June 9th. I won't be here next Tuesday. I'll be working the election polls, so I probably will miss this show. But if you're in the New Jersey area, come out. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to register ahead of time, none of that. We should be having a lot of fun. And we've got some cool giveaways. My whole thing right now is a message. Here's my public service announcement. If you have the money, start buying ammo, because people are going to lose their mind come primary time and run on panic buy. So just get in early, buy your little lot, and build up your stockpile. You should have been doing it already. I think we've all been saying that for a while now, right, Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the time to do it. Other than that, just find out what your local Second Amendment group is and join it if you're not already in. All right, that's about it.
Cool. Well, that's the end of the show. So send questions or comments to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes. Actually, forget that last part. Firearmsradio.tv and no iTunes after that. And be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage, firearmsinsider.tv. So that's it for the show this week. We've successfully completed another one under an hour. I'm liking the new format. Keeps it nice and brisk. Feels like I'm not wearing nothing at all. Wait, what am I talking about? Whoa.
Whoa. Wait a second here.
Does everyone have a...
I didn't sign on for this.
Oh, you did. You didn't read the fine print.
You can't read the fine print. He's old.
Oh, snap. Full circle. So everyone have a good week. Stay cool and shoot, and I will catch you on the next episode.
See you next week, guys. Oh, maybe not.
See you later.
See you.